Hey you guys, welcome back to another Dear Diary update. Recently, I told you guys about my 4:30 a.m. debacle, okay? And I wanted to check in and let you know that that is still going on. The only thing that's changed is that I am still on this whirlwind of like, who is she? When did you become a 4:30 a.m. person? And now that it's been a few weeks, I have just been reflecting a lot, and I just kind of want to share my reflections about what the 4:30 a.m. thing is revealing to me about myself. First and foremost, what does it mean? The reason that it is so wild to me is because I believe that it shows that I am genuinely tapping into happiness. Just because I'm waking up at 4:30 a.m. does not mean that it don't sound just as crazy to me as it might sound to y'all. Like, that shit still sounds crazy as hell to me. Okay? Because what exactly is it that you need at 4:30 in the morning, right? But it has revealed to me that I am living a life that I deem worthy of waking up that early for. And in the past, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Not just because it would have felt so forceful and I would have like really been fighting it in my body, but also I was getting too drunk a few years ago to ever wake up that early and not look like what I had been through. Okay. And that kind of just sends me down the alley of what I was doing and what I was intaking and partaking in to help me with how heavy life was feeling. I mean, I waking up at 4:30 a.m. sound crazy because why would I clock in early to a life that I was trying to check out of early? Like, that's if I can just be honest with you, like, waking up earlier for a life that I'm trying to get out of early, like, I had been suicidal for years. Years. Like, unfortunately, we can't change the hand that we've been dealt in this life. But I'm a person that deals with things. And because I have dealt with a lot of the things in my life, I feel a lot of pain. Like, that shit ain't easy. I see why people avoid it and they prefer to stay toxic, because facing it and claiming the part that you played in a lot of that pain, despite what has happened to you, hurt. But it hurt. It hurt. It hurt. And you trying to like start living this new life, but you still got to deal with the repercussions of like the decisions that you made in the past when you ain't know no better, while also keeping the light of like what you know to be true now, what you know better of, like, while still having to pay the karma of certain things that you know, certain decisions you done made, right? Even though you're not even there anymore. That's difficult. It's like a tug of war all the time. I see me waking up at 4:30 a.m. as so spectacular because I feel like the way that it doesn't hurt shows me how much I have changed, how much I've created a life worth preserving. And what preserving looks like to me is learning to say no. Like, this life feels so good to me that I've committed to doing what I can to keeping it. Recently, a young woman tagged me on her own YouTube. She does a chit chat with her community, and she sits down and she tags me. And actually, here's a clip so y'all can see it.
I want you to know, I did start off watching you from your podcast, and I love your podcast. It was great. And then I wondered, where did she go? But I didn't think too much into it. You know, I continued my life. Then I saw you on Instagram, and I see that you're doing van life, and I commend you for that. I commend you for that. And what you said in there was so powerful that people don't even register it, because either they're scared to live this way, or selfishness, or don't want to make the sacrifice. But when you say your son said was this was you not working was the most fun he's had in his entire life, I need you to understand that is so deep and powerful beyond measure. Not a lot of people are willing to make the sacrifice for their children. Okay, I know one person in my entire life who literally was working at a corporate job and took a major pay grade just to be able to be involved in her child's life. Schooling, growth and development, all of these things play a factor. So to you, and continue on this journey and continue on the path, and I'll meet you there. Just give me some time. My lease not up till April. Toast to you, girl. Cheers to you. Okay? That part.
And as you can see, she was praising me for the video that I did recently, because I was just talking about how I'm not in a rush to go back and get a job, and I'm not going to just go get any job. My child told me that that was the best summer that he's ever had. And honestly, it truly was one of mine. And I'm like, okay, this is what I need to protect. And I'm just grateful, because what that shows me is that I have changed. Before, my ego was building this elaborate business and businesses and this capitalist lifestyle, for lack of better words, and constantly monetizing everything that I love, because I was trying to create a life for my son that has resources in it, so that way he don't have to do what the hell I'm going through, right? I don't want him to have to heal so goddamn hard from me. Like, all kids gonna have to heal from their parents, but I never wanted my child to go through what I am healing from my childhood, right? And so I thought the answer to that was more resources. And in a way that it is. Like, please, I hate when people be like, money don't buy happiness. God damn it. Even in my bankruptcy, I'm still living in the fruits of having money. Money sent me to therapy. Money helped me experience different things to help me say, oh, okay, hold on, it's better out here than what we're going through. Like, money got some answers in it, okay? Like, resources, right? But what I love about the lady complimenting me is that she said she only knows one woman that allowed herself to get demoted at work to show up more for her child. And as a person that is a single parent, when I'm with my child, I do have a co-parent. He does his half, I do my half, yes. But when he is with me, I'm a single parent. I do not have a spouse. It's me, him, and Poke Chop. All right, we holds it down, okay? And what I realize is that him saying that made it the best, and me trying to maintain that while being a single mother, is very difficult, because I'm fighting this out while I'm in bankruptcy, right? Which ultimately, for lack of better words, means I'm completely starting over. All savings gone, 401k gone, stocks gone, like, and possibly about to give up my share of my investment property, right? And it's just like, is this the time to be trying to, stay at home with your kid when you ain't got no resources no more? And I feel like, yeah. I feel like right now, if I can wake up at 4:30 a.m. voluntarily, be happy about it, it not be as difficult. It's a lot of stuff in my day that's more difficult than me waking up at 4:30 a.m. I actually feel like me waking up at the 4:30 a.m. has been giving me enough energy, and also taking enough of my energy, that I don't have it to overgive throughout the day. Like, I'm living on a day-to-day, pay-to-day system right now, right? I feel like I lived in the future and the what-ifs for a long time, and that's why I was building businesses that were way bigger than me, faster than what they needed to. When I was doing Sexual Essentials, I built that business always off of what I had in me, because I was the face, because I was the voice of it. If I didn't have it to do, we wasn't doing an event, because who the hell was going to do the event if I couldn't speak at it, right? But with the content house, I was building a business outside of me, and I was saying yes to producing and doing and thinking up and encouraging us doing way more than I really had the capacity for, right? And that didn't work. Trying to build a foundation for the kid. But now the kid has spoken. Right? Now the kid then said, you not having a job was the best. Mind you, this is, for lack of better words, the brokest I have ever been. Okay? And I include college in that, because in college, at least I ain't had like the debt and the bankruptcy payment. You know what I'm saying? This is a little bit different. And I ain't have a kid. So for lack of better words, let's say this is the brokest that I've ever been. If my child is saying this is the best that it's ever been, my ego is shutting the fuck up and saying, listen to him, Linda, listen. And I feel like me waking up at 4:30 a.m. is a part of the dedication to me saying that truly matters most. And that makes it easier for me to say no to other things. It's making it easier for me to recognize when it's time to detach versus fight and claw. I am in a space right now where I don't have the energy for fighting or clawing. I'm in a space where I'm recognizing that miracles may happen every day, but they are not as common as what we be asking for. A lot of times our prayers are including miracles. We need a miracle. And I feel like you only need miracles when the base is fucked up. all the time. That's when you need miracles, all the time. And I realize right now, I don't necessarily need a miracle. I need to protect the opportunity that I've been given. And that means not saying yes to everything, passing on certain things, so that way as I build, I can build with things that maintain this feeling that has me okay to wake up at 4:30 in the goddamn morning. If this is my base code, 4:30 in the morning, waking up with at my lowest, and I'm like, damn, I'm happy to live this life, then the only way I could fuck it up is by saying yes and accepting things that take me further and further away from that. Not trying to be funny, but why would I, in the past, I never would have woke up early to the lives that I was living. I was not in any rush to get started on those lives any quicker. None at all. And I feel like detachment, a lot of times we detach from things in anticipation of pain. I'm at a point where I'm learning to be present and understand that if it's there for me to use it, use it up. But also when God starts drying up the resources in a certain place, that's a sign that it's time to move on. That's the sign to start detaching. And not in a scared way, in a way of, I understand that I don't need everything. And if you're pulling this away from me, it's because whatever is next up for me is ready for me to start going that way. I am in a position where I feel like I'm getting the very first scoop of ice cream out of a tub that's just been opened. I don't know about y'all, but ice cream, and maybe this is because my very first job was at Baskin Robbins, so I think about ice cream probably more than the average person. But when you take the top off of ice cream that's brand new, the way that thing swirl around, it don't matter how long it's been in the freezer, it swerve around so different. It's like fresh snow. And no matter what, after you touch it, that next one is not as crisp and clean. Okay? It take more work after that. And I realize that I'm in a space right now in my life where I'm giving myself the very first scoop of my energy to start the day. Like the very first part. And it's my contribution to maintaining this life of me not working so hard around my child, because he's saying this was the best. You being there was the best. And I believe him. And so that doesn't come without difficulty. It has some, it doesn't come without sacrifice. I've learned that I'm in a space where my friendships don't cover as wide of a territory versus deep. Miss Brandy posted a Substack, and I'll post it below for you guys, and she was saying her friendships spread deep, not wide. I absolutely agree with that, because I can't show up to everything. I can't be there and say, oh, somebody always there. No, I'm not. I'm there when it counts. I'm there when you need me. I'm there when we have something intentional that we need to share. But the responsibility of my life is no one else's. And unfortunately, the card deck that I was handed in this lifetime has a lot of karma attached, and it has a lot of pain attached. And if you haven't been through that same thing, then you don't know how much of me it takes to heal that thing. And I'm 33 and just now figuring that out, and just got to a point in my life where I'm waking up early and not hating it, and I'm loving it. This is not the time to abandon myself. This is a time of rebuilding, right? So I am being very particular about what I say yes to. Okay? And I think that the 4:30 thing even proves that, because the things that I'm doing at 4:30 are things that I can't do with my child right there, uninterrupted. And it also saves that window of time that he's at school, that I'm available for a part-time job. It keeps it open. It shows like I'm dedicated to a part-time position, but I'm also dedicated to not letting my creations fall down. I am supported off of my Patreon. That is what I'm living off of right now. So like, if I stop contributing to that, if I stop posting on YouTube where I'm monetized, I'm going to lose the ability to be able to split my time between my child, myself, and work. And so I've even had to go through the question of asking myself, is it worth staying in my business partnership right now? I have another business that and it's just private, it's just real estate that I've been in for over 8 years, but it doesn't come up because, again, it's a partnership. It's not just mine. And I've been having to say, hey, it might be time for you to step away. Not because I want to, but what it's asking of me would take me away from the commitment of me being there the way that I'm there for my child right now. Like, I never thought that I would walk away from this type of business. That's one. I never thought I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning. But I'm realizing that when the resources start drying up, when things start getting frictiony, when things start getting difficult, God is betting on you not liking it and doing something about it. But a lot of times we're so scared. Let me give you an example. Today, I stopped at my favorite place and got a matcha. I have not been eating out a lot. I take the money that I have allocated for groceries and I go get all the things that I would normally want to go out to eat with. Money's tight, okay? I still eat good. I go down one level at a time if I need to. A lot of people be like, oh, I'm about to start eating ramen noodles. Wait, we ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? And nothing against ramen noodles. I'm just saying, like, I can still afford to cook the type of things that I want to eat at home. Now, can I go out to Longhorn every other night and get a little? No, I can't. But I can make certain stuff at home. With that being said, I have been picky about when I decide to go out and get something. I was coming to record today. I'm proud of myself. I was like, I'm giving me a little treat. And when I placed my order online, when I got there, they were saying, hey, we're out of oat milk. We didn't want to make it yet. Do you want us to make it with almond milk instead, or what you want? And I had never tried theirs with almond milk. To be fair, I'm not a matcha girly. I specifically like their matcha made a particular way. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the almond milk one or not. So I tried it, got in the van, hated it. And I mean, it's not even one of them things where you be like, oh, this isn't the best. Let me get my money back and then I'm gonna still keep it if they let me keep it. No, I did. Even if whatever happened, this was going in the trash. I wasn't drinking this. It didn't taste good. And so I was torn because the old me would have said, you ain't even supposed to be eating out anyway. And look at you. The old me would have took that as a sign of, see, you wasn't even supposed to do that for yourself. That's how the old me would have processed it. The new 4:30 a.m. me is like, baby, if you want something, you deserve for it to be the way that you truly want it to be. And if you don't like it, that is totally okay. And I took my little bald head ass back in there and said, hey, I tried the almond milk. I do not like it. It's not you guys' fault, but I don't like it. You could tell I only took like 1 or 2 sips of it. And she was like, okay, that's no problem. She was like, I don't know how to put it back on your account. Let me just give you these instead. And she gave me 2 drink passes. Now, mind you, I just paid for 1. The old me would have saw the situation as, I have to stick with this and let this be a reminder to not do it again in the future. That's what the old me would have done, right? The new me is, I am not going down in happiness for anything. I am at a point where I could wake up at 4:30 a.m. and like my life, which means that anything that don't feel good, that I don't gotta say yes to, I'm giving it back. Return to sender. No, thank you. I'll pass this time. I won't be able to make it. All of that. And I feel like this time I was rewarded and got a free drink out of it. Yeah, I paid for 1. They not only did they give that back, and I can use it at another time when I can get exactly what it is that I want, but then they gave me another one. They were like, oh, you're here all the time. And I was like, oh, I just ordered 1 drink. She said, no, keep both. The old me thought I had to sit in things that I didn't like because it's what was best. And I don't believe that anymore. I think that what's best is you feeling like you have a life worth getting up to. I don't know. This 4:30 a.m. thing got the kid fucked up, okay? Because I never lived a life that I wanted to wake up earlier for. Not once. I recently saw a creator say, and I think her name is Eliza Day. I have to look it up. If I can find it, I will put it, because I know I saved it for sure. I'll put it in the description. And she basically said that this relationship with time is, if we looked at how much we consume versus how much we create, we'll figure out how we feel about time. And she was basically saying that a lot of our time is filled with consuming, and consuming happens very fast versus creating takes a long time. Time slows down when you create. For example, when you cook a meal, it might take you 4 or 5 hours. But when you eat that meal, it only takes all of 15 or 20 minutes. So the thing is that, like, replace food with whatever. If it's like content online or TikTok online or, whatever, how long does it actually take to consume it? And as soon as you're done consuming it, you go to the next thing consumed. So now you've consumed 4 to 5 snacks. You've consumed 4 to 5 reels. You've consumed all of this stuff. What have you created? And I feel like the reason that my 4:30 a.m. time is so special is because I have all of 2 to 3 hours to myself. And by the time I'm done, it feels like I've already lived a day. It feels like I've already lived a day, but it's only like 9 o'clock in the morning after I drop my kid off at school. It's early as hell. And so now the rest of the energy I have is dedicated to, everything else. But I realize that my days feel slower because the sacrifices that I'm making to preserve this life of being there for my son more, being more present, like, I've already worked as if I was a 55-year-old man. The number of businesses I've started, the amount of money that I've made, the amount of deals, the connections, the portfolio. If I don't work another day in my life, I have lived a life well lived. I done traveled all over the world. I have done so many amazing things. I have broken down so many things. If I don't do nothing else, I've lived a life worth living. The only thing I haven't done is slowed down. And so my thing is that slowing down has put me in a space of less consuming and more creating, because I'm not on a budget to be consuming a whole bunch. But I'm creating, and I'm actually getting more life from it because I'm getting more time from it. My time is slowing down. It's almost like aging backwards. It's like, how are you doing that? Because I don't spend most of my time consuming. I'm spending most of my time creating because I've chose a sacrifice to not work so much. When you go to work, you're going to work to have money to consume. We didn't consume that much this summer. We consumed experiences. We consumed energy. But we didn't buy a whole bunch of shit. We went and did shit. And after you go kayaking in the fucking river in July in Florida, that's all you need to do for the day. You don't have to do so goddamn much. You don't even got to do that much. Ain't even that much to do. After you buy a kid a toy at the store, all it takes is 5 fucking minutes for them to forget about it and want something else. They be asking for something for Christmas for months, and in 2 days they want something different because consuming happens so fast. I realize I'm at a point where it's going to take a lot for me to say yes to people wanting me to do stuff that just consumes me. From things that want to interact with me that just want to consume me. Versus creating with me, creating new ideas, creating new thoughts, creating new depths. I don't want to be in situations where I'm just being consumed, and I don't just want to consume someone else. I want time to stay slow like this, and I realize when time stays slow like this, I'm not really praying for so many miracles. When life was fast, I was always praying for a miracle. Like, oh, I'm going to get a breakthrough. Oh, I'm going to be discovered. Oh, I'm a this. And what I realized is what I was really praying for was to be saved. I was looking for something to come along to save me, to slow down my life. I was looking to be saved from the life that I created. But if you really respect miracles, you understand that though they can happen every single day, they're not normal things. And we be wanting miracles for shit that we have control over. We be wanting miracles to happen for stuff that we can very well say no to. So to me, it is a miracle that I want to wake up at 4:30 in the morning because I've created a life that don't feel like I need a miracle every damn day. In childhood, I wanted a miracle every day. Do you know how hurt you have to be that you hope that one of your parents unalives accidentally? Because maybe it would make your life easier. Do you know how long of a life it is to not want to be here every single day? Do you know how long it takes to come down from being drunk because you're trying to escape the life that you are living? I have lived so much of my life wanting a miracle. This is the first time in my life that I'm living a life that I don't feel that I need anybody to save me from. All I need to do is protect it. So 4:30 a.m. is just a reflection to me of how much I have changed. And I think that's worth preserving and building slow and saying yes slowly. And let it weed out the experiences that want me to rush. Because nobody gives a fuck if you're okay. Like, not trying to be funny, but they don't. They can care, they can have empathy, but nobody can save you. Nobody can take that pain off of you. And anybody asking you to do something different when they don't have to live with the repercussions of you not wanting to live this life, of you constantly wanting a miracle to save you, then you got to put that shit out of your mind. Man, I realized that validation has been an enemy of most of ours for so long. I was watching Ocean's 12, and I know this movie is old as hell, but I watch a lot of movies to put myself in the position of, like, the characters. I do it to encourage, like, I might do a movie series at some point to tell y'all how I process movies, right? Anyways, in the movie, in Ocean's 12, which is the second one, there's this guy who starts a challenge. He breaks rule number 1 as a thief, and he basically snitches and says, hey, I know who stole your money, to the person who they robbed in the first movie, right? You never do that as a robber, as a professional robber, right? White collar crime type shit. And he puts on this competition or whatever, and he says, hey, if you win, I'll pay off your debt to old dude. Don't even worry about it. But I want to see which of us is better. They go through this whole movie, this whole ordeal, and the guy thinks that he won because it looks like he stole the item, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Of course, I mean, the movie is from 2004, so I don't think that this is I don't think that I'm, like, ruining the movie. But clearly at the end of the movie, the guy's like, wow, you really are the best. Because he says, tell me I'm the best. And the guy, Daniel Ocean, and his wife, Julia Roberts, is like, okay, you're the best. All right, so we just need to get our check and then we'll be out of your hair. And he's like, what? And he's like, but you didn't win, da-da-da-da-da. You just said I'm the best. And the way that he ran it was that as soon as he told him, as soon as he snitched, they didn't believe in snitching so much. They went straight to the source, handled it, took the item before the challenge even started. So once it started, no matter what, whoever got it was getting a fake. They had went before the whole thing even started. Right? To me, and I feel like I'm describing this horribly. I say all that to say, validation is a hell of a fucking drug. You will end up taking yourself around the world, putting yourself through all kind of things and going against things that you don't really want and breaking rules and all this other shit, ultimately because you want validation. And so for me, I'm at a point where I no longer want validation. My ego wanted me to build all these things. And I'm so grateful for my son telling me, and I don't think I'll ever forget that, when he said this was the best summer. You not having a job was the best. This was the best summer ever. I'm just so grateful that my ego stepped aside and let Samaya enjoy that and let me hear that. Because a lot of us have been told that our kids just need us, but we don't really believe that. We believe they need other things because they do. It takes more than love around these parts, right? But the truth is that if you're really in a place where you need to heal, where you need to slow down, you can't be looking for validation from anyone else that that's what you truly need. You have to be enough, or you'll end up going around the way trying to do all these things when you're going to lose regardless. You're going to lose regardless, because rule number one is that we don't do things for validation. We honestly do them. Even when we make a mistake, we honestly do them. Why? Because if you made that mistake, you truly didn't know, and the lesson that you're about to learn is going to teach you, so you don't actually have to learn that mistake again. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just proud. This 4:30 a.m. thing just got a real nigga in her emotions. You know what I'm saying? It got me in my emotions because I finally live a life that's worth me getting a couple more hours out of versus always living a life that I've been trying to get out of early. And it hasn't come when I've been at my best. It's come when I've had the least. And I think that's actually made life the clearest that I've ever seen it. It has more clarity than I have ever experienced in my life. Do I know what's next? Absolutely not. But me loving myself and knowing that I'm not willing to say yes to anything that takes me away from the happiness that makes me comfortable with getting up this early and spending more time with myself. It just feels like a miracle to me. I think I have been praying for some really big things for a really long time. Based in consumerism. Not in greediness, in consumerism. But the key has been slowing down. Because slowing down, though it decreases my income for now, slowing down allows me the time because I'm creating more. Because I can't afford to do things fast. I can't afford the house cleaner anymore. I can't afford the laundry service anymore. I can't afford the grocery delivery. And so I'm doing everything by hand. I'm doing everything manually, down to my living situation. Living in a tiny home, a manual home versus a more modern routine route of a regular home with consistent bills. I've cut out consumerism to focus on creativity because creativity slows down time. The things that I work on take me hours. Hours. And I have more life. Ain't that crazy? So that's just something to think about. And hopefully I didn't confuse y'all too much. I would love a response on this video. I know you guys have been commenting a lot and all of that, and I appreciate it. But this one is just one that I hope that it resonates for someone, or at least this makes sense. I don't care either way because I'm no longer looking for the validation. So there's that. But also, if you want to support me more, you can click on my link in my bio from all of my creations over the years, from Sexual Essentials to Not Just Another Sex Podcast to this show, the Dear Diaries series. So if you want more of these, please check out my Patreon, and you can either support me over there with the matcha or just join the community so you can get access to all the pieces of content and meet with us weekly on Zoom. So that'd be nice to see you. I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and till next time. What was that? Okay.